Hey everyone, it's Yolanda. I'm here to share with you the junk journal that I made for my partner on a swat that's over at myscraproom.ning.com. And before I do this really quick, I just want to tell you that's a pretty big book to go through, so grab a snack. You're going to be here a little bit. And Regan, this is a magazine I was telling you about. It's the new Somerset magazine. That's where I got the idea. Well, I'd seen it before, but I was more inspired to make a little cupcake tin, paint it, and embellishment to add stuff. I got that inspiration from here. And it's a new Somerset publication, summer 2011, Create With Me, Artistic Adventures with Children. And even though it says with children, it's a lot of great projects to do as an adult. So anyways, that's what it looks like, Regan. I think you can order it. Okay, so we had a choice. Smash book, junk journal, call it what you want, journal. That's what I like to call them. Basically, I'm just filling up a whole bunch of pages and making something for Carlene. And the size was to be at least 6 by 10 and have 40 pages. That included, tags, whatever, just at least 40 things that could be written on, journaled on, what have you. Okay, I did go a little overboard, I'll totally admit, and I like when things don't match. I like things all mixed up, and I like textures. I like to use a lot of different elements. I find it really interesting. So the one mistake, well, actually, it's not a mistake, but the one thing I did do, and I didn't realize it until I was about, a third of the way into decorating the pages, was that I should have I should have punched my holes because I wanted to use my cinch to bind it. And I just was so excited to start because I'd cut everything out. I mean, not cut everything out, but I got all my sheets together. Like, this is what I usually do. Because I did 2 sets because I knew I'd want to make one like this for myself. But I just get everything together actual sheets and tags and everything that I'm going to embellish. And then I work from there. Well, I was just so excited to start working on it that I forgot about punching my holes. So I ended up having to use rings because I'd already done so much. But anyways, it worked out okay because I like the fact that she can just take a ring off and add a page or move things around, or if she doesn't like where I put something, she could easily switch it up. And I did 5 holes, and then I ended up only liking how it was with 3. But these are still great because everything's punched out, like I said, so she can move it around. It's already set if she wants to change it and like move something down, like this tag, if she wants to move it down, or, well, that's not a good example, but you get the idea. Let's see. Okay, like something like this, she could take it out and move it down one. Okay, so anyways, let me just tell you what I've done, and I'm going to try to keep this video short. Now, well, it's not going to happen. Forget it. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, I totally understand. But I just want to give you, my basic thing is to give you ideas just of how you can just use so much of your stash in a book like this and make it come out so beautiful. And you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're making something memorable and creating a keepsake. And at the same time, you're using up all the little goodies that we accumulate and hoard. Speaking for myself, that we hoard for a while. But I'm on this no hoarding kick right now. So what I've done is I took 2 pieces of mat board, that's my covers, and I covered them with canvas. And I was going to embroider on here, but I didn't find a transfer that I liked. I could have drawn something, but I changed my mind. But I like the canvas. I just used a gel medium to adhere it. So it looks like a fabric cover, but it's just actually mat board with the thin piece of canvas. I just laid down a whole bunch of ribbons, some that I got from Terry Berry and her prize giveaway, and others that I had in my stash, and I just liked the feel of it. I liked how it looked, real homey, cozy, and I titled it The Female Perspective. And if you've been watching my videos for a while and you know a little bit about me, I don't know, I just always go to that other, how can I say this? It's not going to come out right, but I don't know. I wanted to put like my personal touches on it, because if Carlene wants to make a smash book, she can make that type of book on her own, like the kind she wants, but I wanted it to be something that I would want, that I want to give, you know what I mean, if that makes any sense. Anyway, so I titled it The Female Perspective. And then I had this little crocheted flower, and then I made these felt leaves, which I love this felt. It's 100% wool felt. It's called Feltworks. And you know, you can die cut it. It's super thick. I absolutely love it. I have a bunch of different colors, but I use it for the leaves. And then of course added a bird. My husband said, what would it be if you didn't add a bird, right? Okay, so through this whole thing I have stitched with my sewing machine. I've stamped. I've used fabric. I've used lace, ribbons, trims, buttons, scraps, and I think maybe I only cut, besides the cardstock, but pattern paper wise, I think I only cut maybe 3 full sheets of 12 by 12. Everything else was scraps, and maybe not even 3, maybe 2. And so I just pulled a whole bunch of stuff that I had around my room. So we'll just go through it. I'll try not to go too fast, but on the other hand, I know you don't really want to. I'll try to just highlight the things that are obvious that I want to point out. So I've just gone through and I've stamped throughout it, either a date stamp or notes from today, so Carlene can journal. And I've left plenty of room for journaling, adding pictures, gluing stuff down, and just filling it up. And that's why the rings have to be so big, because I'm hoping it'll turn into an even, I mean, it's pretty darn chunky already, but I'm hoping it'll turn into like a ginormous book for her. Okay, so I'm going to write a little note for her right here, just kind of like a little dedication to her. And these are index card tabs, or in like tab dividers, excuse me. I found them at the Goodwill, pack of 100, and they're really big. They're like 4 by 9 or something. Pack of 100 for $2.99, and I've never seen them this size, so they're that manila folder feel. I have a line stamp that I had from Stampin' Up. I've had it forever, and I use that to make lines for journaling. And these are time cards. I just stamped, you know, miscellaneous stamps. I attached some ribbon right here, stapled it, added flowers, room for journaling. These are chipboard buttons that I've had. They actually came on, I think, Prima flowers, like on those paint can style flowers, and these were on the top, and I've had them for quite a while and I wanted to use them up. I think they're really cute. Pattern paper, these were scraps of cardstock, and I just stamped date and I glued these down so she could write like little things that happened. More room for journaling. I created a tag. I just stamped and created more lines. Another tag. I did a really light color ink on the back with the script stamp, and then flowers. Just add all those little touches. Some little butterflies. These cards. This is a card there in the value spot at Mike's. Now it's like the $1.50, right? These are cards, and I just cut the back off and just stitched down. Actually stitched around it first, and then I adhered it down and made a little pocket so she could tuck stuff in here. And then a little flower with another chipboard button. I used up some of my little ephemera stuff. This says follow your heart, and I love rub-ons. I have a huge collection, and I cracked them out. I used like one whole pack of them up. This says real beautiful, and a pretty stamp. And this is another rub-on. It's a Daisy D rub-on. It came from that pack, and this says who I am. Just trying to fit it in there. Who I am. It's real big, so she can write right there. I'm trying to get it like a different angle so you could see the pages better, and I keep hitting the camera. Sorry. Can Company postcard from one of those ephemera packages, and then I just glued down some pretty ribbon. And more Can Company. I think that's from that watercolor collection. A time card that I just edge punched right here on the bottom. You can see it. Stamped a heart. More lines on the back for journaling. This is just a what do you call it? Little envelope, and Carlene can tuck things in here. And this is actually, you see this? It says, "If you want to be happy, be." Leo Tolstoy, and that was from the bottom where the barcode is at on 12 by 12 paper, and this little quote was at the one side of it, so I just cut it off and saved it. And it's off of authentic paper, which I absolutely adore. I'm just hooked on that paper. It's so beautiful. If you haven't seen it already. And then just some, you know, ephemera says superior. I stamped on the back, simply enjoy it all. Watercolor paper with chipboard photo corners right there. This is a file folder die cut, and another rub-on. Do yourself a favor, be part of something extraordinary. the date, and she can just open it up and put pictures, or she can journal. And what I like about the rings is that sometimes it might be a little tough to write in, so she can just crack it open, take that, you know, thing out, write in, and put it back. This is a Hero Art stamp. It's two ladies on like it's this one. And so I took a measuring tape and just cut off a piece, and I actually stitched it down and just stamped on the back. This page is some just craft cardstock with a Heidi Swap sticker, and this is a little chipboard thing, says "An Original." More rub-ons on the back. With this page, I took a card. I had these cards that were on clearance at Target, and I actually just like opened the card and tucked it right in like this and just stitched down all around. So I created two pockets, one on the front and one on the other side, and just put a tag in there with some muslin tied on the end, some more flowers, and the chipboard little buttons. And same thing on the back, just a tag that says date. And then I stamped this flower. I love that stamp. It's really simple. And then I just wrote with my own writing, "Notes to Self." And with the scrap piece of pink paisley, no, crepe paper, I did this right here. Just a little tab. Just stapled it, folded in half, stapled it. I got this Inspire word die cut from Lisbeth 601. And so I just added buttons for the I, for the letter I, and a vintage finding, a special event. And I just stapled it on there. And nothing on the back of that. This is a paper bag, and what I did is I edge punched the top right here. You can see it. I edge punched it, and then I sliced it down the side, and I folded the bottom flaps down together. Okay, I just sliced it open, and then I stitched with my sewing machine to create the pockets that the tags would go into, and then I just used some Can Company ephemera. I sandwiched some pom-pom trim in between the flaps and just glued it, and then added some more trim right there. So a great way to use a bag. And then I just put some flea market paper on the back. This tag, I've had these overlays, alphabet overlays forever, and they're all, I have like the whole alphabet. I think I got it when QVCs to do scrapbook stuff, and I had them, and I just stitched it on. I put the letter C for Carlene and added a little flower, which it's now in a spot that keeps getting hit by that ring, but it's all right. A little vintage button, and just, you know, like an initial. And then these little fabric squares are adorable. I got them from Lolly Rot here on YouTube. You got to check her out. That chick has like great style. I just laid down the squares and I stitched it across. And then right here, just a patterned paper, and then those rub-ons that were out in the dollar spot, and it says "Write Your Own Story," and I put a little typewriter rub-on on the bottom. Okay, that's just paper, and it has a little chipboard thing that says "Courage." And I created this little banner. I'm at a totally, I need a new tripod or something, and then they're set up. I have I think it's a Hero Arts vinyl stamp, clear mount stamp, but it has a whole bunch of little pennants, and this one is just the plain simple one. The other ones have like words or little scribbles on it or whatever, but I just did this plain one. I stamped it onto pattern paper, cut them out, and I used embroidery floss and a needle, and I poked through to string it up, and then put a little birdie and little flowers and buttons. So. And this is just plain paper. I just edge punched it. And then one of those other little dividers. What, buddy? Oh. What? Okay, wait till I'm done, okay? Because then you're going to hear it. A little divider with the Can Company little die cut. And she could add like a title. And then down here I stamped the date. And more lines for journaling. Just a piece of watercolor paper that she can do something on. And then a Eiffel Tower. Really cool sticker I got in a rack, or I think I got it in one of my swaps. I love them. They're really neat. And then I have some stencils, and I have one that says confidential, so I just sponged ink over it. This is the Prima dress form stamp. It's huge. It's actually, I had to cut it off, but I just stamped that, and then I just put a little flower with one of those felt leaves and edge punched it and put lace. And then another little tag, a little bird. I love this Unity stamp. It has the month, the year, a little calendar, and down here it says notes. And I just added some pretty little trim on the bottom, blank on the back. This is another paper bag. I just folded it in half. Bless you, honey. Folded it in half, stitched it to make a pocket, added some pretty trim on the bottom, did a Can Company butterfly chipboard, little die cut, and I created this tag. I just took a flower, folded it in half, and I hot glued it onto the top, and then I had these little rings that, I don't know what they're called, I can't remember. It's not like a button, but it has a little metal, like you could slide ribbon through it. So I tucked it to the front and put ribbon through it so that I could tie it on the back. And so that's Chicken Journal, and that just goes right back in there. If I can do this correctly. Darn it, I had trouble with this the other day. Okay, goes right back in there. And then on the back side, I just wrote a quote from Buddha. Happiness comes when your work and words, bless you, honey. Sorry. Happiness comes when your work and words are a benefit to yourself and others. And that pretty much sums up the way I feel about stuff. And this cool, oh, bless you 3 times. Another felt leaf, and then this pretty turquoise flower right there. This is just another piece of paper with an edge punched, and I had a Cricut die cut. I can't remember which cartridge, but I had already cut them out like a long time ago, and I just used them. So, quote from today stamp. This is just a tag that she could slip a photo in here. It says date, ribbon, flowers, trim. This is another envelope, and I, bless you, honey, I tucked the flap inside and I wrote right here, fill me up with stuff. And then I hand wrote the top 5 things that make me smile. And then I numbered them with scraps of paper so she could write them in. I stitched all around them first, and then I adhered them down. There's a lot of texture and feely, neat things to touch and feel and stuff. So, and just paper on the back from the flea market. This is one of those file folders again, and I just did some more. This is a Melody Ross paper. This is a Melody Ross paper. This is a flea market paper. I did a die cut things I've learned along the way, and then a bird and a flower, and then she could fill it up. And then this is just blank paper with a little tab right here. Another time card with some rub-ons that say blessed right here, right now, today, and then a flower, a bird stamp. And this is just a piece of pattern paper from the flea market collection. I took a Cosmo Cricut chipboard letter, and I put the letter B and then a rub-on that said genuine, and lace trim stuff. Stamped it with the date back here. Piece of watercolor paper that I just did a little floral collage on it. Stamps, with some Stampin' Up! Stamps and lines for journaling and some trim. Right here you can see. And then right here I stamped Sparkle and Shine with a little rectangle shape over it, so you kind of give it a little interest there. This piece of paper I edge punched. I love these punches from EK Success. That one and the other one, the real big one, is 2 of my favorites. And more rub-ons, happy and kind, and then the date up there. Okay, nothing on the back. This one I just took 5 flowers and I lined them up and stitched them all the way down the edge of the paper. I like how they hang off. And then this is a tag with my one of my all-time favorite quotes by Marianne Williamson. It's called Our Deepest Fear. And I wrote it, hand wrote it, and put a little heart, little ephemera piece I had. You have to look up that quote. I absolutely love it. I remember when I very first heard it, it was in a movie with Lawrence Fishburne with Kiki, what's her name? Kiki Palmer. The one with the spelling bee, and oh my gosh, I just fell in love with it since then. Okay, another same thing with the pocket with the card. This is one of those cards at Mike's, like in the dollar section, and it has roses, really pretty, and I remember to stop and smell the roses, and a tag with the bird and some trim. Oops, can't see it, sorry, trim up here. And the back side is white, the card was white, so I just put a piece of pattern paper on there with a flower, stamped notes from today, with a little butterfly, and a tag with some pretty lace right there. And the last page is just white cardstock, paper tray cardstock, And I used, all throughout it, it's Nina paper, paper tray cardstock, craft cardstock, and then whatever pattern paper I used. And then this is a die cut from my Imagine. And that's it. And this is the inside, more flea market pattern paper. And then I added this huge clip so that if she's in a hurry and she wants to include something in here but doesn't have time to write it, adhere it, she can just clip it right here. And that's it. And on the back, more canvas. And then I wanted to keep it simple, so I just did Handmade with Love by Yolanda P. 7-Eleven and stamp little flowers. And that's it. So this is my junk journal for Carlene. I'm mailing it out today. And I hope you like it, Carlene. I can't wait to get yours. So it was a great swap. Gina, thanks for hosting it. And try these. It's a great, great way to lose all your, restrictions and rules about how a journal, scratching your eyes out, a journal should be. You just have fun with it and don't put, tons of thought into every single thing. You're just that's why it's called a junk journal. You're just adding whatever you have around, and it turns out very nice and a great keepsake. So give it a try, and yeah, I hope you like it, Carlene. So thanks for watching, ladies. I know it was a long one, but I hope you hung in to the end. So have a great weekend. Bye.